Now the last spot was absolute bonkers. Ace queen on the bubble, and I bet a lot of you guys would just snap forward. We have 3 big blind, 4 big blind, 5 big blind shorties. We are, I think, top 3, top 4, top 5 in chips. The chip leader shoving, it was a turbo tournament. These faster formats are in general quite popular, so you might be playing them, and it's important to understand these short stack situations. So let's have a look what hijack is supposed to be open push here. We see around 60% with a bunch of short stacks. We're in the stone bubble, and we're in the small blind with ace queen off. And my first instinct on stream was fold, but then I remembered, because I'm studying, wait a minute, we call against the chip leader. We are one of the bigger stacks that allows us actually to call wider, because now ICM understands that against this very wide range, we set ourselves up to potentially win the tournament. If you're one of these shorter stacks, you're actually calling as tight or as wide as we do with 15 big blinds, or even tighter, because ICM understands that now as a short stack, the upside of doubling up is a lot less valuable. But us as a bigger stack, now we risk the same, we risk busting out of the tournament, but the upsides are bigger. If we double up, we're chip leading, we're gonna have a massive stack. So that allows us to do a profitable gamble on the bubble. Let's have a look into what we're supposed to call here. We see we call 11%, even ace 9 off. That's crazy, right? And with these tools becoming more advanced, it will help you to make more money. I know a lot of you guys, but I want to fold my way in the money. Shouldn't we just secure the first pay jump? No, you're deliberately leaving money on the table. Me making those calls will make me more money than if you just try to secure that one pay jump, all right? That's very important, and you need to be okay with potentially busting on the money bubble. But the upsides are bigger. It's worth taking the risk. It's profitable. It's plus EV. This is what matters. You are doing an emotional decision. You're afraid. You're scared of busting. You might look stupid. You might get laughed at. Well, fuck these idiots. We do what is profitable, and you can see that here. We are calling even king jack suited 7s, 8s, assuming that hijack is shoving this kind of range. If he's tighter or wider, we should adjust accordingly. But even against this range, I would bet. I did a survey, I did a poll, and a lot of people were like, queens plus, kings plus. That's ridiculous. So you need to be better prepared to understand when to be calling wide on the money bubble. What are the factors? What is our stack? What is our opponent's stacks? How does the other stacks look like? You can see here, despite having multiple 3 big blind stacks on a pure money bubble, we're still sending it with ace queen, and we're trying to double up. And to illustrate this effect even better is look at the button. He has only 4 big blinds, and he's calling almost the same range as us with 11 big blinds in the small blind. So what is happening here? Obviously, there's one more player behind, but now when they're 2 all-ins, the calling ranges become so tight, the overcalling range for the blind, that it's almost neglectable. But why does button, being so short and being so desperate, still call relatively tight for his stack size? This is exactly the fact I was just explaining, that now ICM understands, and I'm explaining this with very simple words, understands, hey, wait a minute, doubling up is not going to be very helpful for your situation. So our main goal is now to secure that one pay jump so you break even for the tournament, right? If I try to explain it with more logical words to you. But the bigger your stack as a mid stack, and you can potentially become a big stack or chip lead the tournament, you will be surprised how wide you're stacking off on the money bubble. And we see that here very beautifully, that because by logic we would assume, well, the shorter you become, the wider you call off. No, actually now the ICM pressure is similarly high on the button, but again, the upsides are just not as high. So that's why the range is almost the same as for us in the small blind.